afternoon, everyone. Isn't it a beautiful day for us to take the jump? But I want to make sure that we're all in the same space, so I'm going to hype you guys up a little bit before I introduce myself. So when I say take, you say the jump. Take. The jump. Take. The jump. When I say take, you say the jump. Take. The jump. Take. The jump. Ooh, that's the energy I need from you. How amazing it is for us to be in this space today. My name is Marvena Newton. I am going to be your fabulous, wonderful host today. This is a joyous day, but also before we celebrate, I want us to take a moment to reflect on what's happening in our society today. And while we're feeling all that, we want to show radical solidarity to stand in the gap for those whose voices are not being heard. So if we just take a moment to just reflect on those who might not be able to celebrate this in the Ukraine, wherever war is stricken across the world, we want to be able to acknowledge that. So just 1 minute silence. Thank you so much. It's not easy to be in a world where we feel fear. But one thing I want to say to you is that fear is just false evidence appearing real. And we have the ability to radiate so much amazing love in a space where hate can sometimes be filled. So let's just constantly think about ways that we can bring joy, fun, and action in everything we do. Because that's what the jump's all about. It's about a movement that creates hope, that doesn't have any space for us to feel shame, allows everybody to take the opportunity to see our future change, not just for us, but for the future generation. We owe it to them. So I'm gonna just tell you, I've been involved in the jump from the start. I'm a trustee for diversity and inclusion. But in that process of intersectionality, it's always thinking about a way that we can work together in an exciting way. I love play. I love looking at ways that I can have fun. But when we talk about climate, I don't know about you, I get climate anxiety. And we don't talk about that because you just see it as so much to do with so little time. Even though in these scary times, taking the jump for me is a way of life. It's the simple things I do. Choosing to eat less meat, choosing to walk instead of getting in a car, choosing to upcycle in every way I can. By the way, the outfit I'm wearing today is actually a fabric my mum used to use to carry me on her back. We decided to go ahead with this event to bring a little bit of hope in a world uncertain right now. So everybody knows that we all can do our part. We don't need to wait for a corporate organization to tell us what to do. Neither do we have to feel like we have to go to a protest to tell us what to do. Individually, we all can make a change. And that's what's so beautiful about taking the jump. While I'm trying to read this, I'm dyslexic, dyspraxic, and dyscalculus, and also on the spectrum. And that's just beautiful. I'm the triple D. We want to take this opportunity to make this event so accessible. And that's why I shared what other people might see as my flaws. I talked about climate anxiety for someone who's an ethnic minority or who is the majority. Society sometimes tells me that climate change is something that happens to me. But climate justice is something that I choose to stand with. So first of all, we're here to launch the amazing new research. Oh, I like this. And second, we want to launch the jump. We want to co-produce it with you. We want you to feel like it's yours. Because all this means nothing if you are not part of the conversation. The jump is about giving you a voice and influence because your voice is the vital one. And so much in our movements, we find that movements silence people. The jump is about celebrating your voice. And everyone's voice, from as little as they are to as big as they are, we do not discriminate. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. Power to the people. Power to the people. People got the power. People got the power. Tell me, can you hear them? Tell me, can you hear them? They're getting stronger by the hour. Stronger by the hour. Power. Power. People. People. Power. Power. People. People. Hey. Children and young people are amazing. And in the environmental space, we need to be better allies to children and young people. In fact, can I ask for a big favor? I would really love to stand with all the children if they don't mind standing on the stage with me. Keep giving them a round of applause. To me, these are the superstars of the whole event. I would like to know your name first of all.
Jasper.
Jasper.
Alba.
Albert.
Robbie.
Robbie. Is it Robbie?
Robin.
Robin, see? Again, as allies, you might get it wrong. You just ask again and say sorry. Sorry for getting your name wrong, darling. Leif. Leif. Layla. Freda. The truth about taking a jump is actually about them. What would you like to see in the world?
The bees.
Ooh, the bees. Bees. Okay. I loved it. Is it bees? Yeah, I said bees, didn't it? No, she said it's not bees. But see, beach, the beach, guys. Oh, look. Can you see the importance of voice and influence? You have to make sure you listen. And even when you listen, you might hear it wrong, and you keep needing to go back to make sure you heard well. Thank you for telling us about that. What would you like to see different in the world?
I would like to see Africa.
Woo! What would you like to see different in the world?
The world.
The world. That's deep. That's deep, man. That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. What's funny? I just. I love it. See? Joy. Taking a jump can bring joy. What would you like to see different in the world? Mexico. Okay. Guy, Mexico. Clap for that. Now I want you to speak as loud as you can. For some reason they can't hear. Hold it as close to your mouth and then shout as much as you want.
I would like to see people being nice to each other even more. And I would like animals to be living freely.
What would you like to see in the world?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man! Power to the children.
Power to the children.
Children got the power.
Children got the power.
Tell me, can you hear them?
Tell me, can you hear?
They're getting stronger by the hour.
Getting stronger by the hour.
Power.
Power.
Children.
Children.
Power.
Power.
Children. You guys were like the best ever on stage. Smartest, wisest, and I want you to keep using your voice, okay? Can we promise? Can we do a little bit? All right, cool. Yeah? We're all agreeing to use our voice a little bit more, right? Yep. Hey! Okay, yes. She's using her voice straight away.
I never want to see plastic on the floor, so I think we should do a clean-up on the plastic.
So give them a round of applause. Thank you, guys. Thank you. You can go down. Love you. To come into a space where you challenge someone to think about climate justice and their response is okay. To not having to pitch to him to explain why environmental racism is something that affects those in the global south. I spend my life trying to convince nice white people to see me, to think about me when they make their everyday choices. But when I say they should see me, it's because I want them to see my daughter. I want them to see my son. I want them to be able to understand that they don't get to come on stage. No one actually gives them the mic. They're never platformed in any conversation. You have to place climate justice at the heart of every environmental conversation. And what that means is that you think about those whose voices are taken away from them. Being the JUMP trustee for diversity and inclusion is not an easy task. I don't want to do it by myself. It's not my job by myself. I need everybody to think the same way, to think about those who in the global south are losing their life trying to save trees, just like your children said, trying to keep the planet and the earth away from capitalism, who are being imprisoned, children's voices who are never heard. And I know this feels like the uncomfortable truths, but this is why we need to take the jump together. It's not us against them. It's not white against black. It's not female against male or non-binary. It's just our jump. And until we take our jump together, our fourth foundation for equal access. Sorry, I'm reading this stuff and I'm talking about it. This is the only space that I know is going to happen. And I've been around in this game for a bit. I've led marches for environmentalism. I've got you saying decolonize the economy, decolonize your mindset. It takes me no pride to make you feel guilt. But the only reason I speak English this well was because I was colonized. That means my country of origin, my language was beaten out of us. We were told we were not allowed to speak that language. Capitalism came, and that then came with slavery. And I know that's a hard fact, but that meant we were treated like second-class citizens. And what that meant was that in the Niger Delta, where my family is from, the exploitation of oils coming out of the soil means that more people are being displaced. But while we talk about the trees in the Amazon, do we think about the people? You can get it wrong, but we will do better. You have to act on the inequality straight away as soon as you see it. So that meant making sure that these children that have been here sitting all day, that their voices were heard, because they deserve to be heard. You have to advocate for change. That's why when I sat here, it wasn't about me. It was about all those other people who aren't being seen. If you notice, they said their names. And when I didn't hear it right, and you didn't hear it right, we all muttered the wrong things. We thought bees while she was talking about beaches. Can you see when you don't actively listen or give people the opportunity to speak the way they can, to learn and unlearn? That's what the jump's about. Getting you to think about your own unconscious bias when we talk about things, why we don't do things, why we create the shame. We all have unconscious bias. I do too. One of my biggest unconscious bias, and I'm going to publicly say it, and people might take it the wrong way, my biggest fear on this earth is nice white people. Let me repeat that. Nice white people that I am not racist, but in fact, I went to Africa and I built a church, white people. In fact, you know what? My friend's brother's dog is black and I can't be racist and I feel like I'm doing enough. And it's not us against them. Nice people who do nothing. Nice indigenous people who do nothing. Nice youths who do nothing. So it's not about one specific group. It's about the silence when you see inequalities based on your own biases or fear of acting to create change. And the last bit around the learning is, it is your own responsibility. It is not the job of those who are going through the pain. And change is uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable. Taking the jump will be uncomfortable. But you need to get the full facts around climate justice for you to take the jump. You can choose to think about the kids in Africa who can't get water because their lands are drying up. And you probably decluttering might seem like a bother. But you can have fun doing it, that you're making the world a better place, and no shame. And even if you choose to fly, it's okay if you choose to make sure you amplify the voices of those who are facing those pain. The yielding. This is where everybody fails. Yielding is hard, because to yield, you have to acknowledge you have privilege. And we all don't want to acknowledge we have privilege, because we want to feel like, actually, I live in a council house. Actually, I'm a woman of color. Actually, I'm a single mother. Actually, I work 60 hours. Actually, how can you say I'm privileged? But I can tell you I'm a privileged black woman. I'm privileged because I'm on this platform. I'm privileged that my voice does not speak for other black women. I'm privileged in the sense that I could choose to say that I speak for all black people, but I'm saying I'm turning my privilege into power. And that's the strength of what we can do. Privilege is not a bad thing. It should not be something you should be ashamed of. You didn't have to work for it. You're privileged to be in the UK while some people are in Ukraine. It's just privilege. It's not a bad thing. But if we don't have the conversations and have this uncomfortability, we can't create change. I'm not trying to take that feeling away from you, because unfortunately, I can't take this feeling away from me. And to try and make it seem mediocre will be disrespectful to those who I'm choosing to stand in the gap for. So I'm going to say this to you. Who's going to take the jump with me?
You're so brave.
Thank you. So that was joy when it was free. I want the world to see all of us taking little jumps. Just little. It doesn't need to be big. And maybe instead of saying, does this spark joy? Can this give joy? It's taking the jump. Can I repurpose this and make someone else happy? It's taking the jump. You can take the jump while you go drinking too, because you can make it fun. And if I had a jump birthday, right, would you all come? Yes! I would like to take the jump and do a big fundraiser to help those and donate to those refugees and asylum seekers. I've got a volunteer. Come. Hi, we meet again. If you could host this event, what kind of event would you do?
I would do an event that would keep things green and make everything better in the world.
What do you need people to do to help you do that?
I need people to help me get other people to listen to me to see if we can make the climate better.
Can we give a round of applause? So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna put a sign-up sheet. You get to be the boss now. How do you want to motivate your team to take the jump?
By going around town and telling people if they would like to join.
What do you love doing the most?
Donutting.
Doing nothing.
Donutting.
Donutting. What is donutting?
It's something where there's this big slope and you're on like this donut-shaped thing and you slide down the slope.
Can we? Okay, can we do some donutting as part of your event?
Yes.
Can I get a hug? Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh, I feel so good. Thank you so much for being amazing. When I say, I was about to do a different chant. When I say take, you say the jump, take, the jump, take, the jump. When I say take, you say the jump, take, the jump, take, the jump. When I say take, you say the jump, take, the jump, take, the jump. When I say take, you say the jump, take, the jump, take, the jump. All right. Give yourself a round of applause. Oh, check that baby taking a jump, man. Look at that baby taking a jump. See how much joy that baby is getting. You can have that joy too. Take the jump. Love, Marvena Newton. Take care.